Welcome to Kneecap Biting. I'm going to get ready with the video. And you know what that means? I got to say my favorite tagline. I do not own the rights to this music.
Here locally in the community. Make sure y'all go check out Kneecap Body by Jeremy Smokin.
All right, and welcome into Kneecap Biting with Smokin Jeremy B. This is the post-game review. I got a couple more people that may pop in, but that being said, I'm happier than an LGBTQ man in a hot dog factory because Tim Boyle, you're fired.
In your best Vince McMahon voice.
Yes, it was. Yep. Got a couple comments real quick. Brian Roy says, hi, guys.
What's up, Brian?
Logan Erickson says, here we go. Calhoun Lyon says, bye-bye, Boyle. Tim Boyle finally cut. It's about damn time. The Lions should go get Chris Streveler. He played really good for the Jets this preseason. He was released about an hour ago. Richard Head says, guys, he will be on momentarily. And Logan says, Boyle is gone? Yay! That being said, other notable cuts have been Jared Davis, Khalil Pimpleton, Kevin Lamb, and let's see, Sevion Smith, Mark Gilbert, and Tom Kennedy were waived. So far there's been 8. Don Burr hops in and says, woo, thank fondness, Boyle leg gone. Dennis Tytek says, bye-bye, Boyle. Hallelujah. There is a God and faith in the front office is restored because I couldn't believe we re-signed him after that fiasco he put on the field. Okay.
Damn right.
Andrew Merklinger, Tom Kennedy was waived, not cut, which means they have 48 hours to claim him, or he comes back to the practice squad.
Damn, that was a shocker.
Not really. I said he'd either make the active roster or be waived. I said it.
Yep.
Lion King, hi, Smoke, what up? Oh, just going over a few of the ejections we've had. Dennis Tytek says, B-E-A, beautiful. Don Burr says, I think Jared Davis and Funchess comes back to the practice squad with new rules for players with 2 years or more. Absolutely. But they were cut, not waived. Mark Gilbert, Sevion Smith, and Tom Kennedy were waived. Boyle, Pimpleton, Funchess, and Davis, it was see you later.
Do you think Pimpleton got cut because of that drop in the end zone?
Because of a total of 3 drops in the end zone, yes.
Yep. And the other ones.
He had trouble catching the ball outside of practice. I mean, in practice, he looked amazing. In game, he looked shaboopoo. If he clears well waivers, yes, Kennedy will be practice squad. But we
Absolutely.
have to wait 48 hours. And the Bears, Packers, and Patriots all need wide receivers really bad. I expect them 3.
So do the Giants.
Pimpleton being cut, not waived, means he's gone.
Yeah.
But where do we go from here? Oh, let's talk about yesterday's game because, Boyle screwed it up. The first string defense did well. allowing only a field goal once the second stringers came in. That's when the touchdown was scored. I don't know why AO looks so rusty on the field right now, and it scares the hell out of me. But Jeff Okudah by far has been our best secondary guy, and Tracy Walker is a close second. There's no disputing it.
It's not even close.
Yeah. But anybody who thought that Will Harris was going to get that number 2 job over Jeff Okudah, you're delusional. Yeah. And our favorite quarterback that was cut, just dropping in to say bye, guys. Hopefully I will be back. I hope not. If they bring another backup QB, Blau will and should fall back to QB3. If not, it isn't worth it. It really depends. Like if we get one of those guys, Strevler didn't have a great resume in college. The guy I'm most interested in was cut by the Eagles, which means he can be signed straight to the team. That's Carson Strong. Yep. Do I expect any waiver claims? If so, what positions? Well, they talked about QB. We know MLB is an issue, but Aaron Glenn said his defense does not revolve around dominant LB play. So that being said, I think it'll be safety or defensive tackle.
Agreed.
They need to check the waiver wire for a backup. Blau isn't that great. But he knows the playbook, which is why he'll be the QB2 until the other person gets acclimated.
Yep.
Yep.
Now, Aaron Glenn says that his defense doesn't revolve around a strong middle linebacker.
Yep.
Let me ask you, do you honestly think he means that, or he's just saying that because they don't have one?
Well, they do have one that we found as a gem in the 6th round.
Yeah, we're talking about Rodriguez, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Now, he means that his D is based on primary pass rush and run gapping, clogging all the running lanes and letting the linebackers clean up any second level while the defense covers, moving an extra to the box. Yeah, it's not your classic 4-3 or your classic 4-6.
It actually looks more like a 4-2-5 to me. What they're doing.
It's a nickel. Yeah. Yeah, it's a nickel. That's why it's not based on your linebackers. Your linebackers are more in covered spots.
I hope so too. I would like Malcolm Brown out of everybody that's came in for a visit and not been signed yet, but we have to make the cuts to do it. They have to get it to the 53-man roster and fill the 16-man practice squad with the 4 protected for week 1. So until that's done, I'm not projecting anything. Because if they're going to pick somebody up, that means there will be more cuts than we thought.
What time are cuts, the deadline for the cuts tomorrow?
4 p.m., so we got a lot of ways to go. I have the feeling almost all the UDFA rookies that were decent, they will end up on the practice squad. And if you look at it, that's Eze, that's Jarvis, that's Richard Head is here. Richard Head?
Guys.
Boyle is gone.
Thank God.
Welcome.
I was just talking about it earlier. Like, he is arguably the worst quarterback I think I've ever seen, not just in a Lions uniform, but NFL as a whole.
That's a daily thing, Don Burr. I'm used to seeing DC do this. I had to check my calendar. DC over there smoking and drinking like it's Friday.
It's nighttime.
Nighttime is the right time. I am just so happy he's gone. Pimpleton, Davis, Funchess, Sevion Smith, Mark Gilbert, and Tom Kennedy.
Cut really surprises me. I thought he was going to make the team.
After the way he played in that game yesterday, and I'll point it out, he had a bad false start. He had a couple of drop passes. He had 1 5-yard catch. And he didn't really get open in the red zone while he was in. So therefore...
If that Falcons game was yesterday, he'd have made the team.
Are we sure Craig is the RB3 or where Justin Jackson fall? I think Justin Jackson will be the RB4, and the only reason why we'll keep Godwin Igwebuike is because he can return.
I think the hot hand's going to get their RB3. If Jackson's out.
Would you
If Jackson outplays Reynolds, he's getting it.
Would you consider bringing back Devin Kennard? Well, technically, he's not as good as what we have starting at outside linebacker right now, which is his position. He was not a middle linebacker, so no.
Yep.
Now, if they said they cut Isaiah Simmons, I'd be on the phone quicker than you could say hallelujah.
If I even
Was
had
he
thought they were going
Collins?
to cut Isaiah Simmons, I'd be offering up draft picks right away.
No, I mean, if he was cut or waived, it wouldn't be an issue. He'd be signed and somebody be jettisoned, probably Board. Board has special teams value. That's why he's still here. That's why Davis was cut. There's a chance they could bring Davis back to the practice squad, but he wasn't waived. He was cut, which tells me he's probably gone.
And he's probably on his way out of the league as well.
And Brian Roy asked, Smoke, do you expect to see some 3-4 defense occasionally this year? What they said is not a switch to a 4-3. They said they were going to run 4-man fronts. That's a big difference. The base defense is still a 3-4 under. So, yes, in most running situations, like on first down and second down and medium, you are probably going to still see them in the 3-4. If it's going to be a second and long or a third and long situation, that's when they'll be doing the 4-2-5. But if Goff is on the IR for the last for the season, it won't make any difference who we bring in. MCDC and Holmes fire. They're not firing them right away. That's just stupid talk. They're not even on the hot seat. Sheila knew this is a process. It was going to take time to build the team into a winner. It started with the culture change, and we're already seeing it. We're seeing a culture change in the attitude of these players. So to say that they're going to fire Brad Holmes and MCDC, that makes about as much sense as wiping your butt than taking a crap.
The only way that I could see freaking Campbell getting fired would be if they started the season 0-13.
Right. Or even 0-10 again. If they start 0-10 and Goff is playing.
Yes.
Yeah, I was about to say, if Goff is playing and they're 0-10 or 0-13, I could see Campbell being on the hot seat.
And there's no other major injuries.
Right. I mean, if the O-line's healthy and the D-line's healthy and we're still losing like that, then I could see maybe. But there has been no talk of either one of them being on the hot seat. So a comment like that doesn't make sense to me.
No, I mean, we'd have to be putting grocery baggers as cornerbacks to go 0-13.
Like we did last year.
Exactly.
See, and even as bad as Boyle and Blau are, well, don't have to worry about Boyle anymore, but as bad as Blau is, I still think he would be able to pull one game out of his hat. I don't think they would be an 0-10, 0-13 team. That schedule is just way too easy.
I mean, we got way.
With Stafford.
Yeah, but that also was a rough schedule that year for us. It was a high in the power rankings. Not like this year.
But I'm just saying, because we all agree Stafford's like 10 times the quarterback Blau is on his greatest day.
He's 10 times the quarterback that Blau is with tendonitis that hurts him when he throws in his elbow.
Yes. Stafford can throw with his offhand, still be more accurate than David Blau.
Accuracy is not Blau's problem. His problem is ball speed. He has less ball speed than any QB we've ever had on the roster.
So he throws like a girl is what you're saying.
Yes, he does. I think his wife could throw the ball harder.
And, you know, I like David Blau as like a QB3, but him and Boyle are the same age, so it really makes no sense to keep David Blau as a QB2 because he's not that much better than Boyle.
Yep. I think we should be either 3-2 or 2-3 by the bye week. There's 3 tough games in there, and there's 2 easy games. We should win a minimum of 2 of them. And possibly a third, because the one team's going through a rebuild themselves. Even though they got a talented team, they completely switched their defensive scheme. Hey, that's actually not true. because Blau's first pass was a 48-yard bomb to Kenny Galladay right into the end zone. He can throw it down the field. It just doesn't get there with speed. Stafford could use his feet and throw a football and still be more accurate than Boyle and Blau. That's not true either, because Stafford actually isn't that accurate of a quarterback. Or he wouldn't have had 17 interceptions last year.
And just like you said, Jeremy, Blau is not inaccurate. His ball speed is just real slow.
Right. It's because he doesn't have a cannon arm. Doesn't mean he can't throw it downfield. That's a misleading thing, because there's lots of quarterbacks that can't zip a ball in, but they can throw it 50 yards down the field.
Yep. Boyle, though, his accuracy is so bad. On that interception, it was behind his receiver by almost 5 yards. Almost right to the defender in double coverage.
It looked exactly like the play at Atlanta that cost us the game.
Maybe just underthrew him drastically.
And Blau has better control of the offense than Boyle did. Yes, you're right. Absolutely. He did. I said that. He had way better command of that offense.
I mean, still, it's like you're comparing a QB3 to like a practice squad guy at best, you know. I don't think Boyle is a QB2 in this league. Or not Boyle, Blau, excuse me.
Yeah. I don't think Boyle is a QB that belongs in the league, but that's another story. And John Robinson comes in and says, "Good evening, Smokin' Jay. Good evening, John. Good to see you here." That being said, let's get into the hot players of the week. I'd say the first string defense overall, because they held Pittsburgh to a field goal while Mitch Trubisky was throwing the ball down the field.
Agreed.
What is DC? He's a Lions fan.
I'm Smokin' Ashton VST Eclipses.
You really want to know what that DC stands for?
Don't.
Which one? I've heard a lot of them.
Dick Chaser.
No.
Nah. You think it's something better than that, man.
I have something way better than that, but I'm not going to say it because of the thing you said earlier.
I still think Benson's getting cut.
Yep.
They're debating about it because he has speed, but he hasn't showed he has hands, and he hasn't showed he's got the route tree down. So he kind of should be gone.
Exactly.
Stephen King comes in and says, "Evening all, thank you." That being said, I am at 155 subscribers. I would really like it if more of my Facebook fans would go over to YouTube and subscribe and comment and like and share that, because, hey, I'm not saying I want to be paid because I love doing this. I'll talk it forever for free, but it would be nice.
I will say, though, Jeremy, you're right about the defense. Watching the first string defense, I feel a lot better about the defense as a whole. How they were able to keep Pittsburgh in check.
Yeah, they did.
I understand that. And you know what? There's a lot of teams that will fail if they have to put up their backup quarterback in. There's only like 4 good backup quarterbacks in the entire league. And if somebody says Teddy Bridgewater's a good quarterback, they need to be kicked in the teeth.
Yep. There aren't that many, that's for damn sure.
What I wouldn't give to have Sean Hill again.
What do you think about picking up Trace McSorley if Arizona puts him on waivers? He's had a good camp, but they will probably keep Colt McCoy. McSorley was a beast at Penn State. I'm not sold on McSorley either. I'm really not.
McSorley was a beast at Penn State with Saquon Barkley.
Right.
He was never a good quarterback. He was a runner.
And Andrew Merklinger says the first string defense was spectacular, and especially Tracy Walker and Jeff Okudah. That breakup that Okudah had on that what could have been a touchdown pass, he played that perfectly.
I will say this about the first string defense. I was a little disappointed that they didn't get more sacks.
But they were double and triple teaming Hutch the whole time, and the fact he got in on that one sack was pretty good.
Yeah, but again, we're talking about Pittsburgh, who's like playing a wet paper bag offensive line.
That's why they had to double and triple team and focus on Hutch.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so why didn't other guys get in there and destroy a quarterback? That's what I mean.
Because they weren't blitzing that heavy.
They weren't. They weren't showing their hand this game.
Yeah. The only time they really showed their hand is when they got the 3-way sack with everybody, or 4-way even.
Why do you think Brad Holmes didn't draft a QB? Because he simply didn't like any of them, or was it the purpose of filling the roster with more defensive players? Defense was the biggest problem on this team last year. It was not Jared Goff.
Yep. I don't think there was a need for it. When we had 2 of them already, why draft a rookie and then create more of a camp shit show?
I don't even know who Jeremiah Gemmel is. I've never even heard of her.
That makes 2 of us.
Brad is a genius. If Galt is healthy, team should play well. If he gets hurt, those 2 clown backups will keep us close to the number 1 in 2023. Well, it's only one. Boyle is gone. Boyle has been cut, not waived. He has been cut. He has been lanced off the ass of the Detroit Lions team.
Walker's going to be cleaned out, if it's not already.
I'm quite sure the burning process started with the players in the locker room.
Yep, exactly.
Oh, linebacker. I still don't know who he is. You can say who he is. I don't know him. That being said, back to what I was talking about, the hot players. It wasn't Boyle. It wasn't Blau. I mean, Cephas had that nice touchdown catch to end the game. And Patterson did a great job with the onside kick. So I don't know who they keep for kicker. I don't know who they keep for kicker because both of them were just as accurate as each other as far as kicking the field goals. Just Seibert has a leg. He can hit that 54 to 60 yarder. But is it accurate is the problem.
Yep, I'd rather go for the accuracy myself.
Where Seibert misses most of his kicks is 31 to 45 yards.
I'll take the accurate kicker.
I hope they keep Patterson 13 of 14 last year, and the one he missed was 54 yards.
Exactly. I think Jackson earned his roster spot, though. That's for damn sure.
Lamar Jackson may have just become one of my new favorite quarterbacks.
Justin Jackson looked real good.
It just means the pick gets better. And don't forget, Stafford's still dealing with tendonitis. He hasn't went and got it checked out. We don't know if he needs Tommy John surgery because that tough son of a bitch is just too ignorant to go to a doctor.
Yep, and he also still has back injuries. He's still banged up. He might have his best season guaranteed.
Yep, Jason Glenn agrees. He says Patterson was automatic on anything inside the 50 in-game. When they were just doing the practice kicks, he didn't look that good. But that's practice kicks. We're talking about practice. Yep. Now on to the cold players of the game. Khalil Pimpleton.
Not the team anymore?
Everybody that's not on the team, pretty much. Including Devin Funchess. He looked bad. I mean, that's why he's gone. Yep. You can say what you want. Funchess is a red zone target, yes, but he looked bad, like horribly bad.
AO looked bad too.
And I read that he had.
Oh, and AO looks rusty as hell. Either. It scares the shit out of me that he may have a down year.
In a contract year, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not going to worry for AO.
Wake anyone up.
Now, let me ask you this.
I said after the game last night in Motor City Mayhem, I said, what's up with AO? It looks like he was mentored between a cross between Will Harris and Eli Apple. He looks like he's playing like burnt toast and blind.
Did maybe he just have like a career year last year and now he's kind of plateaued out?
Tom Kennedy, Mark Gilbert, and Sevion Smith were all waived, which means if they clear waivers, they come back to the practice squad. But if the practice squad is filled, that means they just become free agents.
Yep.
And Jason Glick says, I mean, it's smart to waive people because if they're waived and they picked up and they play well for somebody else, guess what you get in return? Late round compensatory picks.
Nice.
Where was, as a matter of fact, let's talk about late round picks. Brad Holmes, while doing the scouting, and Les Need said he handpicked every pick while he was there as the scout. From 3rd round through 7th round, do you know what he did? 29. Not just Pro Bowlers, all pros.
Jesus.
For the Rams.
That's about right.
And John Robinson says Buffalo could use Sam Martin. Absolutely, after they just had to cut Matt Ariza due to everything he's going through. And the more I read about what happened with that, my prayers are with the young man, but if he's guilty, and he should do time.
He should be shot in the face if he's guilty.
All right. Tyler Black is in the building. Welcome, Tyler. 29. Sheesh. Yeah. I mean, that says how good of a scout he is. So I trust what the man does. You guys can say, oh, he drafted injured players. He drafted this. He drafted that. He drafted them for a reason. Hey, did anybody see the workout video by Jamison Williams?
No, I did not.
He's running.
Yes, I did.
He's running and looking good. Granted, he only looks about 70 to 80% of his speed before, but that's still almost as fast as Shark.
Yep. But his cut's still wearing crisp, though. That's still going to be probably another month away.
The Illinois DB, Joseph, he did play a lot with the 2nd and 3rd string, occasionally with the 1st stringers. He was brought more in as the 3rd safety for coverage when they had the in-the-box safeties going with Walker and Elliott. It's the way that works. If the wave players, if they've been on the team a long period of time, like Kennedy, that means he's a developed player. I've already said we should go look at him, Tyler. I completely agree. He's got a cannon for an arm. He's got better decision making than Blau or Boyle. I would look at him.
That's crazy they cut us.
And Lion King says Williams looked good. Yes, he did. He was doing the sprints back and forth, but for the 5 yards, 10 yards, and 20 yards.
Yep.
And he looked good doing it.
Didn't Campbell say a bunch of them should be ready for week 1? Like Iffy and a few others?
Yep, 48 hours from 4 o'clock tomorrow is when the waiver wire starts. So technically 72 hours for any of those guys. The only thing that scares me about Carson Strong is 5 knee surgeries since high school.
Ooh, that is a very scary thing.
That means he has the mobility of Joe Namath retired now with the knees that he ended up with with the Jets.
That's really bad too. He's a quarterback. How does your knees go that bad that quick?
They had a really bad O-line. They had a really bad O-line there at Nevada for 2 years. They did. It was just horrible.
That kind of messes up his ceiling. That's for damn sure.
I said if it wasn't for that, he probably could have been a 2nd or 3rd round talent last year because of the weak quarterback room.
Ritter got drafted?
He did. And he looked good against us.
Exactly.
But just like Mitch Trubisky always looks good for us, thank God we don't play the AFC North this year. Hallelujah.
Damn right.
You know what? Pittsburgh's got a nice little dilemma on their hands up there.
Yeah, having 3 quarterbacks that could possibly start.
Yeah.
And they haven't named one yet, and they haven't cut or waived anybody.
He said he's not naming the quarterback either.
Oh yeah, they already have.
On the phone with who? Because I haven't heard anything from anybody about them being on the phone.
And for what position? I mean, other
Mason
than
Rudolph.
other than backup quarterback,
What
and,
you'd have to give up to get them?
I mean, maybe a 7th-round pick.
No, it'd be
The
more than
second
that.
round pick. They'd probably want at least a third or fourth for him.
I'd
Yeah.
laugh at him if they told me a 3rd-round pick for a third for.
He's
possibly their-
9-7 and he's 9-7-1 as a starter for Pittsburgh.
That's cool, but they have to get rid of him. They already have 3 good quarterbacks. I'm
They
not
don't have to
giving
get
up
rid of
that.
him.
Shit.
They can put somebody on the practice squad.
Is he still on his rookie contract?
Yes.
We're gonna be-
Okay, yeah, so
we're
he's
gonna be
cheap.
giving
All
that
right.
up. We're going to be giving that up. We should be looking at Heineke over Rudolph. I would do that in a second if he's on the trading block. I'd take Taylor Heineke over Rudolph any day of the week.
Yeah, I don't think we're making that trade either. The only people I've seen trade things on is 2 defensive tackles.
Well, no, but what I'm saying is if that's what Pittsburgh is asking, I say fuck that price and call Washington and see if we can get Taylor Heineke for that because he is way better than Rudolph.
Locked on Lion Show. That's an opinion that they're on the phone with Pittsburgh. It's not been confirmed anywhere.
Also, I do not think that Washington would trade Heineke.
No,
It's so weak
with
that
the
probably-
head case, that is Carson Wentz. One
And
week
they
he
have
looks
a
like
rookie
the MVP player of old, and the next week he
Yep.
looks like Carson Wentz that has no mechanics and can't do anything right.
Exactly. And who knows how good their rookie's going to be. But I actually joke with my Redskin fans, like, watch Heineke be starting by week 8. I kind of pissed them. Some of them agreed. But
Very well could be. It depends on which Carson Wentz they get.
yep.
And Carson Wentz without Frank Wright as a coach has been horrible.
Exactly. Oh, he was horrible with Frank Wright as a coach. He was good in where, Philly?
Frank Wright was his QB coach that
Oh, he
year.
was QB coach.
And
That's
then
right.
he went to Indianapolis.
Yeah, when he was his head coach, and yeah, their owner did not like Frank. Did not like
Which
Carson
Wentz are we going to see when we play them? Hopefully, the one not coached by Frank Wright.
Yep.
What week of the season is that game?
Week 2. I hope Carson Wentz with no mechanic shows up week 2. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Because they come here too. Which lately, ever since 2018, we haven't been losing when Washington comes to the Lions.
Oh, there was a time where we didn't win in Washington for
21 years.
no, yeah, I think since the Lions were a team, they had never won at RFK until recently. But yeah,
But that wasn't RFK. When we won, it was FedEx Field. We started a new trend.
well, yeah, but in Washington D.C., they never won a road game in Washington until recent history, as far as NFL is concerned.
That being said, and more cold players, the entire secondary, other than Jeff Okuda and Tracy Walker.
Yeah, Okuda looked real good.
And
He had
Walker
some nice
looked good too.
Pass breakups.
Yes.
I mean, Elliott,
Did too.
Elliott didn't look bad, but I mean, he
doesn't look great.
Him.
I think Okuda is going to surprise a lot of people who are calling him a bust. I think he really is going to
Oh,
maybe
that's
not
just
have like a
fucking
really
bad.
good season, but he's going to do better.
I think he'll be a solid starter this year is what he will be, because it's technically, even though he's been in the league 2 years, it's year 2 of him playing
Yeah, he
in
didn't play the
games
full
wise.
season yet.
And year 1 without a crappy coach while he's playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Week
let's
1 will
not-
be
yeah.
his 13th game.
How bad is it for those rookies though, coming in your first year in the NFL and you have to go through the Patricia coaching staff?
And have to be drafted by Boob Quinn.
Man, you-
Boob Quinn and Matt Patricia. And New England fans are already bitching about Matt Patricia's offense. Isn't that fantastic? Did anybody expect any less? Not here in Detroit.
Why the hell is he even an offensive coordinator?
I thought his thing was defense. Like,
Exactly.
He is. That's what he does. He will probably be Belichick's replacement. That's why he sent him here to get reps as a head coach. That's why he has him in all these positions. He wants him to learn both sides of the ball.
Yes.
The guy's younger than all of us on here. He's
Right.
not even 40 yet.
he's
Right.
also a rocket scientist.
Yeah, he's not 40. He's not a stupid person. He just needs time and reps. I mean,
He's just a stupid football coach. But anyway,
No, I don't even
if we went
question
back
his.
10 years on our job, on any of our job, when we were in our 30s, we sit there and be like, what the hell was I doing? I can
know.
be so much better now. He just needs the time and the reps. He's not a 60-year-old who's been doing this forever and came
Right.
out and sucked. He's not like the coach who took over when he left. I forget his name, but he was goddamn awful.
Jameson Hennessy comes in and says, have guys discussed Carson Strong being cut? Yes, I have, and I said I would take a look at him. I want to say thank you to everybody watching. I see that we got 21 watching right now, which is
Nice.
kind of where our peak has been, and 18 of them
Jeremy,
are on YouTube. Yeah.
go over to the Facebook page and use the @everyone on it on the live. I'm serious.
That being said, Mr. Leonard, are you ready?
That's your responsibility, buddy, not mine.
You do it so much better than I do.
The hell I do. I just said I made some cool shit.
All right. Mad Lab Custom Creations. They do custom mini helmets for people. They also have great deals and breaks. Right now, they've got a very sick Tom Brady mini helmet up for grabs. 100 spots at 24. So hop on in, and it's a random draw. So that means you got just as much luck as the guy next to you, and you got more luck if you get more. And my other sponsor is A1 Tire and Auto Repair. 3 locations to serve you. Great prices on used tires, good prices on new tires, great value for anyone. 1 location is in Coquitlam, soon to be open. Number 2 is in Saginaw on Genesee, and number 3 is on Broadway here in Bay City where I work. Come on in, mention this ad. If you buy a set of tires, we'll give you a discount. And we had 2 more comments. Gun Guy says, let's go. And Zakwa says, did you see J-Mo starting to run routes? That deceleration still looks elite. Can't wait to watch him. Absolutely. But because he's on that NFI injured reserve, that means it's week 4 before he can come back.
Hey, Jeremy, have you ever seen what exactly the limits of practice that he can't participate in?
He cannot participate in any team activities. He could do all the individual workouts and physical workouts he wants.
Okay, so he can sit there on jugs machines and do all that and go to meetings. He just can't be on the field, so to speak.
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Because he's actually on the roster.
Yep.
Oh, there we go with my volume up. Oops.
That is some stuff.
There it is. All right. That being said, let's get back into it. So overall, it was a loss, but it was preseason. That being said, what did you expect from second and third stringers? Did you really expect them to come back and win it?
I thought Blau was going to at least put another touchdown or at least another scoring drive on the board, but he didn't. So, that.
It doesn't help that Pimpleton dropped that third down touchdown pass.
Yep.
Oh, that's why he's being waived.
It wasn't waived. He was cut.
Oh, he was cut? Oh.
He was flat out cut. They said, see ya. Funches, flat out cut. Davis, flat out cut.
The Kennedy one should have gotten a yellow flag on it, depending on some of the other ones, but that's what happens when you play in Pittsburgh.
And lo and behold, a ex-Lion was signed by the Dolphins this week. Trey Flowers is now the starting DN for the Miami Dolphins.
Nice.
Hey, maybe the NFL will move it to
Is
prime
it?
time because he's a former Lion.
So let's see. Here's the whole list right now: Boyle, Pimpleton, Lamb, Davis, Funchess, all cut. Smith, Kennedy, and Gilbert were all waived.
So how many more do we have to go?
A lot.
No, we have to cut what, 13? Or cut
To get it to the 69, it's a total of 11. But I had a feeling a lot of those rookies that did okay. I think Derek Deese is going to get cut.
Yep, I'm pretty sure he will.
I think Zylstra makes the team. I think he's the tight end 3 right now. And I think James Mitchell will make the team, but he'll be used more at fullback until Kabinda can come back.
Yep. Yeah, Mitchell has nothing to worry about, or shouldn't. He didn't look that particularly well on.
In that second game, he was horrible at blocking, which that scared the crap out of me, but it was his first game back. It might have been the jitters.
It was almost his first practice back. Jesus, he wasn't doing much of anything before then.
And yes, Brian Robinson was shot at a convenience store there in Washington, D.C.?
Yeah, they haven't been much on the details of the location. I heard both Washington, D.C. and Baltimore, but I think people were just giving me shit.
And Steelers started their first team. Absolutely. They started the whole thing. Najee Harris ran all of them.
Yeah, I believe it was a carjacking that is where he got shot in, but a lot of the speculations are up and down.
Yeah, until I hear more details about it, I'm not going to
They know he's stable.
Go into details. My prayers are with him. I hope he recovers. I hope he can come back to the NFL because he was looking like one of the best running backs out of that draft.
Exactly.
Because when he ran in the game 1, when Gibson got put to punt return duties, he was running pretty good with that number 1 O-line.
Yep, he was a damn good player.
I think James Houston may make the team. You know, he was rusty. He just came off of ACL repair surgery and rehab. So I think he'll make the team, but he's going to be a bench rider.
Yeah, he's not going to get reps until about midseason or significant ones anyway.
He is okay. I think he should be out of the hospital soon. Fantastic news about Brian Robinson. I'm glad he's stable and going to make it. I like I said, I don't wish injury on any player except maybe Karen Rodgers.
Yep.
Nah, not even Rodgers, man. He's still a good quarterback.
He may be a good quarterback, but he has to play us twice. So if he gets injured and can't play us, I'm happy because the Jordan Love Turnover Bakery will be in session.
Absolutely. I just want us to injure him.
I mean, when I heard that Swift and Williams wasn't playing, I was like, oh, this is all player eval. Once they said that, boom.
Yep.
That being said, who do you have for hot and cold players, DC?
Hot players, I'm still sticking with Austin Bryant as being what we thought he should have been when he was hurt, and probably even better now. Justin Jackson easily blew the door off everybody. That he was just, I'm like, wow, someone needs to be worried now. The O-line, both of them, both units of the O-line all did extremely well. And cold, aside of name the guy who got cut, Mike Hughes was about my only question mark.
Was it Mike Hughes or Juju Hughes? Because they're two different players. One's a safety, one's a corner.
It was a corner, the guy that we picked up from Kansas City. He was.
Let's say because Juju Hughes looked really bad.
Yeah, he was the one I was like, he should be making more of these plays. But then again, I could have gotten the numbers confused when I saw him running through there and being late on the tackles. But yeah, all in all, I mean, the guys who got cut pretty much said it all. I have nothing really to be excited about and nothing to commit seppuku about that we're going 0-16, as some people will scream about. We lost a 7-point touchdown in preseason. This team sucks. Fire everybody. You hear that shit all the time. So
I know. Hey, all I can say is they won their first preseason game since 2018.
Yep. And the Ravens haven't lost a preseason game yet. 22 in a row. See
Yeah,
what that does for
yeah. And how many times have they been to the Super Bowl since they did it?
you. Once.
22. Let's see. 3-3 is 6. Yeah, the last year of Flacco was when that started.
Yep.
But they got rid of Flacco because they had Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, and it was a horrendous, tremendous cap hit because they paid him to win, and he won. And he got one of the top paid quarterbacks in football for winning that Super Bowl. And after that, the rest was, well, his arm went dead.
Chicago in preseason didn't look that bad or as bad as we think they are. Could they surprise us? You're talking about preseason football. You're talking about second and third stringers, which actually scored more of their points than the first stringers.
Exactly.
So Fields looked like a decent quarterback. I will give him that. And I've always said that. But behind that O-line, he will be busting Fields. Not because he's a bust, because he gets busted.
Yeah, I wouldn't be that worried about Chicago.
Do you know what it's going to probably cost to get Tyler Huntley? A lot.
Yeah, they're not getting rid of Tyler Huntley.
They're not getting rid of Tyler Huntley.
No, not with Lamar Jackson on his last year and him carrying more than most running backs at his age. No,
for a 6th or 7th round pick, you're probably getting neither of them.
Yep. I have the choice. I'm taking Heineke, but
I think the highest I would go for a quarterback would probably be 5th. I mean, really,
I'd rather not give up because of the late round talent that Holmes has for finding people. I'd rather not give up a pick, and I'd rather sign somebody off of the waiver wire or out of these cuts.
Well, I mean, if I had to give up a draft pick, the highest I would go would be a 5th round. But my thing is, like you were saying, Blau is so bad. We're not even going to talk about Boyle because he's off the team, but Blau is so bad. It's not going to take much to be an improvement over him. You get just throw a dart out there, and you will find a better backup than Blau.
I say sign Carson Strong to the practice squad. Sign Eric Barriere as a UDFA to the practice squad. Shit. Neither one of them could be as bad as him.
Any marquee backup quarterback who comes here is not going to be happy because they're a backup at one place, and if they're young and have promise, they want to go to a place like Seattle where they can get a chance to start. They're not starting here for a while.
In Cleveland.
Happy. Yeah, in Cleveland. They're not going to be happy. So it's pretty much not worth doing that.
Did you see that Sam, after that 5th-year option that is fully guaranteed, did you see Sam Darnold got hurt? I can't help but laugh at that.
Oh, God.
That's horrible. Laughing at him.
No, I'm laughing at the team.
Oh, it's 2 goddamn quarterbacks in preseason. Jesus Christ.
That's ridiculous. I was right, though, about one of my earlier predictions this year. I said Geno Smith was going to take that job in Seattle.
Oh, Geno Smith is one I wouldn't mind getting for a backup, but oh well, he's starting.
Yeah. He's never really been a really bad quarterback. He's just been in some bad situations.
Yeah, he's never been bad. He's never been good.
Yeah. I mean, well,
fuck Geno Smith.
You come into the league on the Jets. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, it's kind of a poor man's Teddy Bridgewater. But not bad, not great. Probably could get the job done, but yeah, on that Jets team, that was a mess.
Everybody that's looking at these guys that played good against second and third stringers, we've had that before.
Yeah, call Tim Boyle.
He doesn't even look good against second and third stringers.
No,
he's so bad.
I'm talking. Look at the year that we went 4-0 in the preseason. All of our backups looked good. And what happened when they had to go in?
Yeah, we went 0-16.
Including Safety Boy on the only game we could have won, running out the back of the end zone and losing the game by 1.
Yeah, the expert commentator doesn't know where the end zone ends. Gee, I believe what you say.
Hey, Smokin' Jeremy, when is Pascal going to be ready to play? Since he was put on the PUP, that means he will be available at the same time as everybody else, which is after 4 weeks into the season.
Yep. We should have all of them ready to go by about week 7 or 8 after the bye week.
Well, no. If they're healthy and they pass their physical, it will be week 5 at the earliest.
But I doubt that they're going to put them in at starting roles and massive reps without training camp, without practice, without anything after coming out of injuries.
No, it'll be.
That's what I'm
they'll
saying.
edge
Give
them
it to
in.
the bye week to get them a play or two in the games, give them a week of practice, and then get them
Right.
up
I'm
to-
saying they'll be in as rotational players.
Yeah,
is what I'm
they
saying.
They won't be full starting, full speed until about week 8. They'll get a couple slots, but they're not going to be getting big snap counts until then, or I can't see it happening.
It depends if they're fully healthy, because if they're on the pup and they get healthy before that.
Yep. I mean, they still need it, particularly the young ones. I would think that they want them to get their heads and reps in, but
Williams is running right now.
Yep.
Facebook user. Williams should be healthy after the bye week. Williams is running right now.
He's running. He's just not cutting, I guess. And I don't know about his agility.
He was doing the stop and go thing, the dead sprints, wind sprint.
But he's not doing the back and forth cone drills. At least I didn't
No,
hear.
but he's been strengthening that already with doing that band exercise. The doctors talked about it. That's the perfect thing, so he can be able to get right to the cuts as soon as he's cleared physically.
Is he doing that vertical leap with 30-pound dumbbells that Okuda was doing?
No, because it's not an Achilles tendon. That's Achilles tendon. That's an Achilles tendon test. That's a stress test for the Achilles tendon. The ACL is different. It's more about side-to-side mobility.
Yep. No, but still, anyone able to do that, injured or not, is damn impressive.
Oh, yeah.
The other one that was
serious inches with that.
Yeah,
No,
and the other one that was
question
doing
Jeff
it was
Okuda.
Jaden. The other one that was doing it for the Pistons was Jaden Ivey. After he had his injury, during his recovery, he was doing that. But they had him standing on a block. So not only did he had to jump up and land, but he had to balance himself on a block that was barely 18 inches wide.
Ugh.
Talk about checking the mobility. Oof.
Just a balance. Shit.
Oh, we've gone over all the cuts. So far, I haven't seen anything come across other than the official word from NFL Network finally came through about Boyle.
Yeah, I wonder why they did all these this early instead of waiting till tomorrow. There has to be some logic to it. I just can't see what it would be, particularly if you want them back on your roster.
Right.
To kind of hide them. I mean, like I said, there should be some logic or courtesy to it. I just don't know why they wouldn't be like, hey, it's 3:59. Here's our cuts and waves. There you go.
Oh, boy. Do you think there might be a veteran LB available tomorrow after 4? That remains to be seen. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen yet. Jeremiah Gamel was one.
Gerard Davis will be available tomorrow after 4.
Yep.
Look at who we're going to be talking about it for a veteran here. If Gerard Davis isn't going to be an upgrade to our linebacking unit, I don't know who's going to be cut that isn't going to be a major cap drain and still be worth it.
Exactly.
I did see Alex Angelo an arm tackle during that game.
That was pretty slick. Oh, he about
already in mid-season form, just let me just push you to the ground real quick.
I was almost worried to get a call for that one, as shitty as those refs were. I was like, are they going to try to call that a horse tackle? Or a horse collar? He just grabbed him and tossed him. That was awesome.
I've never seen refs try to involve themselves more in a preseason game than that.
Yeah, that officiating crew fucking sucked. They need to be fired.
I mean, dude, it's a preseason game.
Yeah, how many times do you need to get yourself on TV? I mean, what
Like,
the hell?
come on.
And
hey, maybe his mom was watching, okay? Sheesh.
Then don't be a ref. Gee, I mean, look, these guys are basically NFLs are part-time job. They're basically like insurance salesmen, car salesmen, or something else. I mean, they at least need to be competent or be gotten
Hey,
rid of.
I don't mind them being part-time employee, but they at least should at least be full-timely committed to their job.
Yeah, but I mean, if they're
I
not
believe they should
full-time
be full time.
they're glorified mall cops at this point. I mean, what does a mall cop do? You stop right there. You can't do this. You can't come into the store and wait till the police comes. In other words, wait till the commissioners go. They're just glorified security guards if they're part-time employees and they can't get jack shit right. I mean, how many times did that penalty of uncovered or not on the line or whatever that lineup rule was called yesterday or all preseason? I mean, for
Yeah,
God's
it's true.
sake, get it right or tell them to move up. Wide receivers check. Everyone checks. Get
Well,
the
my
damn.
whole thing too is I also blame the NFL for that, for all their rules. I mean,
Oh,
they should really dumb that stuff down. There's just too much stuff left for interpretation.
Exactly. So they can control it more. But
I'll say this though, as bad as those refs were, they're still not as bad as the ones when they had those fill-in referees.
some of those I wouldn't get that bad. Oh, we lost Jeremy.
Uh-oh. He's coming back. He's coming back with a vengeance.
Yeah,
No, it sounds. I think I lost my internet connection. Can you guys hear me?
I hear
we
you.
can hear you.
Okay. It's not showing my picture for some reason. I don't get it.
God, is that you?
God?
Oh God.
No, Gabe knows what that was from.
God,
Yeah.
what movie is that? Holy shit. God is
Real Genius.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, it looks like the internet went out on my phone for some reason. It totally dropped the network. That's wonderful.
Wow.
All sorts of problems with this storm coming through tonight.
See, it's already past where I'm at. It's cleared skies. I got a little bit of sunshine.
Yeah, I mean, it's clear skies here too, but that being said, I think we pretty much covered everything. You guys want to add anything?
Did it have to be about the Lions?
Yeah, about the Lions. Have you made any cuts there, Dan?
We cut nobody that was any good. Not
Okay.
a single decent player. I just wanted to talk about that Laviska Shenault trade.
Oh, yeah, because Shenault was traded to the Panthers
Yep, from the Jags.
from the Jags. It's still that still boggles my mind.
Yeah, the Jags needed help at wide receiver. They went and got Christian Kirk for him. Shenault was a good possession guy, decent speed. I can't believe they traded him.
Damn. That fucks my
I don't get
fantasy.
it. Why?
I'm
Shenault
right on DJ
plays with Baker
No, I was
Mayfield
right
now?
I was riding on DJ Moore having a quarterback for once in his life.
Yeah, Brian Roy says, we don't need to look at Jeremy to know he's there, LOL. Absolutely. I have a face for radio anyways, so this works. There, that's better. I'll just get my logo going.
Hey, the logos are where it's at.
That being said, it's been a pleasure talking to everybody. This has been Kneecap Biting with Smokin' Jeremy B. Thanks to Dan Leonard for popping in, Richard Head, and DC8091. Until next time, just remember, every day try to be a better person than you were the day before, because that's the only way to make the world a better place. Thank you for watching, and have a great night.